You found the brew once again, Jersey Joe, eye on the box. Over there, it's bar talk. You know what we talk about a lot in the bar? Love and romance, right? Everybody does that. And then Joel's also Yankees baseball there. But we're talking about love and romance in this edition of the brew. When I put the question out on social media, you guys had a lot to say and a lot of advice. So here's the question. Is it okay to break up by text message? Is it alright to walk away from your lover just by sending a text? Or is there more involved? You guys have a lot to say about this one. The poll will tell all in a moment. But first, we'll get to your comments, and Joel and I as well. Let's go to Joel out there, first off, in Vegas. So what do you think, Joel? Is it okay to break up via text message?
It depends on how much you are willing to disrespect that person, because that's what that is. That's disrespect. So if you really, really hate them and you want to disrespect them even more, that's a good way to do it. Now, if you want to stay friends and you're on good terms, then obviously you're not going to do something like that.
Very interesting thought. You know, you're right. Respect is about one thing. James Michael O said in this comment, and I agree with him on this one, I think it depends on the length of the relationship. And I kind of agree with that because if it is like a first date, a second date or whatever, all right, maybe a text message is okay. But if you've been with somebody for years, you at least got to do it the right way, you know, face-to-face or even at least a phone call.
Yeah, one of those things.
I mean, here's a crazy thing, though. You know, this is how we, like, technology has changed our lives. Like, this wouldn't even be an issue, say, 5, 10 years ago, you know, or even 15 years ago. But now, like, it's actually a real thing where you can just, you know, type in a few keys and say, bye, see ya.
Right, yeah. You see how much technology is advancing. We all have all this new social norm and social etiquette that's evolving right before us.
Yeah, because, you know, 20 years ago, one way, if you didn't want to do it face-to-face, you either A, had a friend go tell them to get rid of them for you, or B, you threatened to have your dad beat the shit out of them, and that would get them go running too. Look, we got a lot of your comments on social media for this one, so let's get to them right now, because Pastor Mike writes in and says, it's cowardly. And Michael F3825 says, one of my kids had that happen to him, gutless person. Okay, Joel, say you're the dad, and, you know, your daughter comes home and her boyfriend breaks up with her via text message. How do you handle that?
First of all, I'm never going to have a daughter. I would just like to say I'm a Christian, so the pull and print method works really well for me.
If I did, I don't know. I wouldn't be cool with that. I would not be accepting of that person going forward in the relationship. Like whether that's a friend or family friend or anything.
Yeah, you know, that's one of those parenting 101 tough decisions. I think, you know, if the kid's young, that's one thing. But, you know, if the kid's like an older teenager or stuff, it's just one of those like growing pains in life that they got to go through. And then you as a parent too, I guess you kind of have to like roll with the punches with them. I know I'm not going to be a parent either. I don't know. It's a tough one for you and I to answer. So any of you watching live out there have any advice, hit us up and let us know. Next comment, though, comes from Alex Kalar, and she says, my ex had a decency to do it over the phone, which is slightly better than texting. Neither is okay for me. Okay, my question on that one is, though, how bad would it be if that was actually like a collect call?
Like the same with the text, level of disrespect. It's just, it's not quite as bad, but collect call makes it a little bit worse.
Does anybody even make collect calls anymore? Is that actually even a thing? I don't know if you can do that. Now that's going back in time. Let's go forward in time with this comment from Cody United, who writes in and says, I once fired an employee via Facebook Messenger. Ooh, what do you think about that?
It's a dick move, but it's kind of funny.
Okay, Facebook Messenger, the text version is kind of going with a text message, but maybe...
It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing.
Okay, but what if you do it when you do a video message, though? Kind of like how you and I are talking back and forth like this. That's technically doing it in person, right? That's skirting the rules.
It's all gray area. It's all subjective. Everybody's going to have a different answer for that.
Yeah, you know, that puts Skype and all that, too, in the same situation as that one. But C. Wojtek writes in with the definitive comment, I wouldn't, but why does it matter? They'll be your ex anyway. Good point when you talk about, like, respect.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, you know what, though? I guess at least the one thing is when you do end the relationship, at least you actually, like, ending the relationship. You like, even if you're at least going to send a text, at least you don't leave the other person hanging. I guess that's what is it. At one point or another, you got to have some kind of closure.
That's where ghosting comes in. So if you really, really want to disrespect somebody, just ghost them. That's no closure.
Very interesting. And just for the record, I have never broke up with anybody ever via text. Have you?
I don't really want to answer that.
Survey says yes. Bing. Confession by guilt. That's okay. You and I will talk about that offline. We won't. Sorry. Let's get to the poll right now, though, because you guys have the definitive answer on this one. So, is it okay to break up with your significant other by sending a text message? 60% of you said, nope, you didn't. And 40% of you said yes. We had a lot of people vote in this poll, by the way. So it was interesting how it came out even 60-40. But for the most part, no, it is not okay to break up via text. And Captain Rehab, by the way, is saying hi to both you and I. But Joel, do you agree with the poll? No is the correct answer?
I don't really care. I don't really give a shit about it either way. Like, you can if you want. I don't know. I don't have a strong stance on this one.
So you agree with Steve Wojtek's answer? You know what? It doesn't matter anyhow because they'll be your ex and anyhow. So
for the most part, yeah. I mean, if you want to remain friends with them, then obviously you don't do that. But like, yeah, it's a case by case thing, in my opinion.
You know what? I got to ask this question because if the person is a true psychopath and a nutbag, you just want to get away from them, then you kind of do want to break up via text.
Right, and that's why. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's why you make it subjective because that covers a whole broad range of scenarios, which we just named a really good example.
And I, unfortunately, and I think you have too, have dated our version of nutbags, wing nuts over the years, unfortunately.
I don't know if I want to say that publicly.
Yes to number 2 once again. We'll talk about that off camera. Let's wrap this show up.
This interview is a little too invasive, I think, today.
Nice. We'll wrap this show up by you clicking that like or subscribe button down below. And don't miss Thursday's Kickback Jersey Joe, because guess what, Joel? You're on the show once again when you and I go at it in a baby food challenge. And this is the craziest ending to a web show I've ever had. And it's definitely going to be a very special viewer discretion advised episode of Kickback Jersey Joe. That's Thursday. Yeah. 4 great web shows on a big channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. And don't forget to capture Spindle in where you can play a game. But Joel, I think you remember the ending of the web show very distinctly from...
I don't want to spoil it for people, but it's... it'll be worth watching.
Yes, it will. Just say you and I guessing baby food. Make sure you're not eating at the time when that show wraps up. So
basically, what's it? Fear Factor. Similar.
Right. You know what? And to be honest with you, too, like the world of dating sometimes could be like a real life episode of Fear Factor.
Well, it's like everything in that way, I guess.
You see what I did there? I wrapped it all nice together, nice little package. It all makes sense.
It was kind of a weird segue, but I don't know what direction you were trying to go with it.
That's okay. I'm making it up on the fly, just like you do in the bar talking alcohol.
Click on the bottom of the screen right now to like and subscribe this video.
That's right.
Mother and Joe, and watch Joe's other web shows, which he'll name right now since I don't remember them.
You know, I just have you do the plug every week. That's kind of pretty good. But Jersey Joe, I am here saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, I hope.